Everything right now might seem a little tough or meaningless, but trust me bro, you can turn your life around in a very short amount of time. It all comes down to understanding what bad mental health really is. Bad mental health is a sign to better yourself, because your body deems you to be in danger. If you're alone, then you're easier to kill. If you're ugly, then you're unable to reproduce. Your body is making you feel bad, so you can better yourself. By the end of this video, you should have a clear path to free yourself from bad mental health. Alright, let's get into it. A lot of people don't even understand what mental health is. We humans are designed to live in tribes and be social. Our survival has always been greater in numbers, and humans' intelligence to work together is what really pushed us forward. We would not be able to hunt down mammoths without working as a group. And this is why your brain feels anxious, stressed, or depressed when you're alone. Your brain thinks you're in danger because your survival rate is lower when you're alone. So when Andrew Tate says depression isn't real, he's actually kind of right. In modern times, it's totally possible to survive and even become successful by yourself. Now, I'm not saying it's the right thing to be alone and you should just suck up your bad mental health, but I want you to accept that bad mental health is an old biological warning of being in danger, aka alone. And it's up to you to determine when to ignore the warning and push on with your routine, and when to take action and start making friends and good relationships. You see, a lot of people before you chose to be alone for some time in order to become successful, which is often necessary and totally fine. So if you're working on your craft right now and feel a bit lonely, just accept the feeling and keep pushing on. But you know what isn't fine is being alone and distracting yourself from warning signs. You know, a lot of people distract themselves through shows, video games, porn, social media, entertainment, the list goes on. We live in a loneliness economy, an economy that profits off people's loneliness. So let me help you escape the vicious economy. Remember when I told you that humans' ability to work together is what really pushes us forward? Well, now you can kind of see the mammoth as loneliness and the group of humans as being social skills. Social skills is going to be a weapon to defeat loneliness. So step 0, before you do anything else, you have to be okay with feeling lonely. The reason why you watch movies, shows, and anime is because you're feeling lonely. You have a void inside you, and you fill that void by watching other characters interact with each other. This works with porn as well. You feel lonely, you watch other characters interact. Video games, you feel lonely, so you talk to people online or hyper concentrate on a game so much that you distract yourself from your shitty reality. In other words, every form of entertainment is a brief escape from reality. Why do you think the most lonely people on the planet consume the highest amount of entertainment? Do you think the 43-year-old virgin weeb watching his 850 episode of Naruto is happy? No, he's distracting himself from feeling lonely. Do you want to be like the 43-year-old virgin weeb who wasted his entire life as a nobody? No. So why do you distract yourself with entertainment? Your argument is probably, well, it's not that bad, I only watch 4 episodes a day, or I only play 2 hours of video games. That's still poison. And also, you have to admit that sometimes you wish you lived in that world. That you were the guy who fucked the hot chick on the naughty website, or that you lived in this perfect anime world where everyone was very attractive and had amazing social skills with magic and all the other powers. So why not, instead of escaping to another reality, create the reality you want to live in? And next time you feel like watching a Tate vlog or porn or whatever your preferred poison is, just sit for 1 to 2 minutes and feel the loneliness. All the dreams you have, all the things you'd wish you'd be, and all the stuff you want. Then use that loneliness as motivation to better your life. Sometimes the most healthy thing you can do is literally just to do nothing. If your alternative is to sit and play video games or something, then it's healthier for you to just sit down and stare into the wall or something. Anyway, let's get to the social skills. The first step to good social skills is looking good so you feel more confident, but if you don't know, then you can go ahead and watch this video. The second step is knowledge. There are many ways to achieve this, so try different things or do them all at once. The first one being personal experience. Isn't this crazy? If you spend a lot of time being social, you actually become better at being social. I know, it's pretty mind-blowing. You can make this even more difficult and start talking to your own mom. I'm deadass. A lot of young men nowadays don't even feel comfortable speaking to their own mom. To do that, to challenge yourself, and then with time just put yourself in positions that incrementally make you more uncomfortable, aka you expand your comfort zone. The way you do that is you start talking to your family, and then friends, you go to big parties, and then suddenly you end up at a festival half naked mussing. Next up, we got books. A lot of you guys will neglect this if you're new to self-improvement, but books is an absolute cheat code. For example, if you read Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, it will give you such a big competitive advantage. Like, I'm talking, after you read that book and implement the principles, your social skills could easily double. And this is just one out of many social skills books. So of course, personal experience beats books, but if one guy read books and another guy didn't, the guy who reads books wins. So you can add it on top to get better social skills. Another thing you can do is kind of like analyze people. Most people, when they're social, they can kind of just go through it like a flow state. When you're with your boys, you don't really think a lot. You just joke around and have fun, right? Which is pretty good. That's how you have the most genuine interactions. But sometimes when you're not speaking, just analyze how the leader of the group is behaving. What makes this guy so charismatic? How's his body language? How does he make everyone feel special? What are some principles he's using? Just start to ask yourself those questions and you will learn a lot about social skills. Now, you might think, okay, this is kind of weird. I'm not gonna sit and see how everyone else is doing. But the thing is, your subconscious is already doing this. So why why not start doing it actively instead of passively, and then learn faster than everyone around you. And also the channel Charisma and Command, all they do is analyze social interactions, and 6 million people is watching that. That's an entire country watching other people interact, which kind of just proves my point. Everyone is interested in watching how everyone else is reacting, so why not, when you're in a safe environment, just try it out, just sit for like 1 minute or something, just see how everyone else is doing. Take some mental notes of that. Once you have looks maxed, acquired knowledge, then the final step is seeking discomfort. This is scary to some people, but let me paint a picture of you. Imagine you were this 10 out of 10 looking guy, you know, the type of people you see on Pinterest. You'd feel 10 times more confident at a social event, which is why I strongly believe looks maxing is step 1 in social skills. You have to have some confidence in your looks before being able to fully focus and getting better social skills. If you have some slight anxiety about your acne or your clothes, then it's going to deteriorate your well-being at any social event, preventing you from fully enjoying it. Now that you understand bad mental health is an old biological warning and social skills are acquired through looking good, knowledge, and seeking discomfort, then we're only left to do one thing: set up your life for success. I remember when I was in 9th grade when COVID rolled around and it was lockdown, so we had to stay at home. Some of the teachers gave us like minimal work to do, so me and my friends would finish the homework really fast, like just give each other the answers, etc. And then we would all hop on Discord, like 14 guys, and just play video games for like 8 hours. A few days into lockdown, my best friend and I started to play Overwatch a ton. Eventually we played competitive and we just meet a lot of people in the game. We had a 6-man team just tryharding like crazy. We got extremely efficient at the game during lockdown. We had Google Drive folders for the best team compositions for different maps, etc. And people started to get really good mechanically and just teamwork in general. And it was just really awesome to see 6 people work in unity to destroy their competition. That's every man's dream, just having a determined team to reach their goals with. Anyway, 1 to 2 months of grinding competitive Overwatch for like 5 to 8 hours every day. We hit masters, but there was a problem. My computer was getting really old and started to crash mid-game, and that was not good during competitive matches. You know, getting thrown out of the game and like making everyone lose, that's not good. So I remember I was so angry at one point after getting thrown out of the match that I just took my computer, went outside to the dumpster and just threw that shit out like a total autistic kid. And that was honestly one of the best decisions of my life. Not thinking about selling it for like a couple $100, but just straight up throw the shit out that had drained so much time out of me. Keep in mind, I've had that computer since I was 10 years old, so in grand total I've probably spent like 4,000 to 6,000 hours playing video games. Just imagine I've spent that time somewhere else, you know, getting good at martial arts, starting a business, or even something like as simple as working a job. If I'd worked a job and I had like 40 grand in savings, that's like a motorcycle or a small house. The moral of this story is triggers. I had the gaming computer for years just being in my room. It was so accessible for me to play video games, so I did it every day. This is why I want to set your life up for success. Let's go through the habits that keep young men from achieving their dreams together. The first enemy is YouTube, and that's honestly the biggest enemy. You don't always feel unproductive while watching YouTube because YouTube does something genius. It combines useful knowledge with entertainment. You can't get rid of YouTube because you need it to become better, but at the same time you end up watching videos of people living their life, gym videos, old video games you used to play. Content that doesn't really contribute to your life but fills the void of feeling lonely. Again, start being okay with being lonely and then use it as fuel. But anyway, how do we counter YouTube? You need to delete the app because no grown-ass masculine man should watch YouTube videos on a small phone. It looks dumb and it is dumb. You can also disable Safari on your phone. I'll throw up like a screen recording on screen so you know where it's located. Eliminated your ability to watch YouTube on your phone. Now for desktop, download the Chrome extension called Unhook. Turn on all the options so you're left with the search bar. This way it should be easier for you to watch YouTube with intention, as you have to get your computer out and then search for the specific problem you have and then fix it. Next up, we got video games. I don't care if you're attached to a gaming computer or it's worth a lot of money, just throw that shit off. There's never a reason for video games. It's the activity that wastes the most amount of time because you can do it for hours every day without feeling exhausted. And if you're thinking about selling it, you're probably too lazy to take 5 pictures of it and type the specs in the description and post it on eBay. This keeps you from taking action, so do it spontaneously and I guarantee you will feel like a new human being within a week. Video games are also the activity that distracts you from life the most. You're sucked into a new reality and you're now hyper concentrating on that reality. You're completely neglecting your real life responsibilities and urges to conquer and be a better man. If video games were on the tier list of bad habits, it would be at the absolute bottom just because of how much time it wastes and how docile and obedient you become. Worse than masturbating, worse than smoking weed, worse than doing absolutely nothing. Imagine that. You're literally more productive doing nothing than playing video games. Honestly bro, just throw your computer out right now. It's that easy. Your life will be infinitely better if you just throw it out. This is by far the most difficult one. It's like trying to quit smoking but you always have a pack of cigarettes on you. There's no YouTube blogger that can save you from this one. If you want to do it, you'll find a way. So understand, the reason why you masturbate because you're sexless and lonely. You want love. Deep inside of you, you hate yourself for doing it because you know you're castrating yourself and it keeps you from getting a feminine wife. So the best advice I've ever heard is to replace the action. Save up some money, go down the rabbit hole of looks maxing and get some good social skills. Then get get a girlfriend. Once you have a girlfriend, stay disciplined and do the following. Every time you have the urge, take a cold shower. Taking a cold shower spikes your cortisol levels. When there's a high amount of cortisol in your blood, it binds to the androgen receptor, blocking your testosterone from being used, making you instantly less horny. And also, if you have an erection, that will quickly disappear in a cold shower, since it shuts down the blood vessels, making it impossible for you to masturbate. And if you're worried about your T level, it'll return to normal again, if not higher, shortly after the cold shower. So it's important to get immersed in an activity right after the shower. If you don't want to get a girlfriend just yet, then immerse yourself in your craft so much that you're too busy to think about masturbating. And every time you have a downtime or a bit bored, take a cold shower to completely remove the urges. It requires discipline to take a cold shower as soon as you get the urge, but it's a lot easier to force yourself to get into cold water for 20 seconds than keeping yourself from masturbating. Last thing I want to tell you about setting your life up for success is to find good friends. If your friends just play video games, party, and never talk about their dreams, they're not your friends. You're only friends with them when you do those activities. As soon as you stop playing video games or party, they will slowly disappear again. They're like a bad habit or entertainment more than their friends. They're just distracting you from feeling lonely. But if you accept loneliness and use it as fuel to better yourself, you will be unstoppable. Just like sometimes it's healthier to do nothing than doing the wrong things, then it's also healthier to be alone than being with the wrong people. You need to find friends who have a strong desire to become more powerful. The only way you do that is to have a strong desire to become more powerful yourself and take action. Perhaps you'll be lonely for a while and feel like an outcast. You'll start to be less relatable and more reserved in school because the people around you don't do the same stuff as you. But eventually, you'll find one guy with the same mindset as you, then recruit some more people, and before you know it, you'll have a strong group of a few people doing really well. At this point, you just need to keep them close and help each other out. Some people will say they'll take action and improve their life but never do so. Don't be angry at them, just slowly spend less time with them and see if you miss them. With a few people that have a strong desire to become great, take care of them and build an empire. So bro, as always, the answers are quite simple, but sometimes we need to be told again and again in a slightly different way in order for it to click. I hope this video helped you out.